So we're looking at the Indian Premier League as it hits its 18th year in 2025. 18 seasons.
Wow, 18.
It feels like just yesterday, Brendan McCullum was smashing those incredible sixes in the very first match, doesn't it?
It really does.
That explosive start seems quite a long time ago now.
It truly does. Thinking back to 2008, the IPL arrived at this, well, fascinating moment in India's story, right?
Yeah.
A real boom in the economy coinciding with a massive shift in how we consumed media.
Totally different world.
Exactly. The idea was to shake up cricket. And, I mean, with over 1,100 matches played, that's nearly 3,900 hours of action.
Crazy numbers.
Could certainly argue it's made its mark, in terms of sheer scale and cultural impact.
Absolutely. To try and wrap your head around that time frame, you could have mainlined every single Marvel Cinematic Universe movie back-to-back about 36 times.
Is that right? Wow.
Or, if you were feeling particularly intellectual, you could have read Tolstoy's War and Peace roughly 60 times.
Okay, that puts it in perspective.
It's a colossal amount of cricket. But as the IPL reaches this milestone, this 18th birthday, it begs the question. Has this turbocharged version of the game, this T20 spectacle, perhaps plateaued? Or is it on the cusp of something even bigger? That's really what we're digging into today.
Yeah.
We've got a range of perspectives to help us understand its current state and where it might be heading.
And it's a crucial question to consider now, I think. From the very beginning, the IPL was this captivating blend of sport and pure entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
Its arrival really did feel like a seismic event in the cricketing world.
Oh.
Suddenly, while test matches and ODIs still held their place, this bold, colorful format burst onto the scene, fueled by a real Bollywood blockbuster kind of energy.
It was pure drama from day one. You had these iconic international players like Kevin Peterson suddenly sharing dugouts with future legends like Virat Kohli. Just incredible.
The mix was key.
It wasn't just a cricket tournament. It quickly morphed into a powerful cultural force. And we can't forget the backdrop of the media landscape at the time.
Right.
Live streaming became so widespread, bringing every boundary and every dismissal straight to our phones and tablets wherever we were.
Made it so accessible.
It was the perfect conditions for something like the IPL to explode.
Exactly. And those early seasons were genuinely electrifying. Brendan McCullum's incredible innings in that very first IPL game for Kolkata Knight Riders, I mean, that really set the tone, didn't it?
It absolutely did set the bar incredibly high.
Rapid-fire, boundary-filled cricket that felt like a different sport altogether compared to the more traditional formats. We then saw the swift growth of franchises like Mumbai Indians and Chennai Super Kings evolving into not just successful teams, but these massive, almost iconic brands with incredibly devoted fan bases.
They became giants. Seriously. And the financial figures are just staggering. Back in 2008, the average value of a franchise was around 741 crore rupees.
Which is already a lot back then.
Yeah, roughly equivalent to about 185 million US dollars at the time. By 2025, that figure had multiplied dramatically. It's now the most financially successful cricket league globally.
Hands down.
But this naturally leads us to ponder the balance, right? Between this immense commercial success and the fundamental sporting integrity.
Always the tension.
I remember even in those early days, some cricket purists dismissed it as nothing more than a circus with a cricket ball.
Yeah, that phrase stuck around for a while.
Yeah.
That underlying tension has always been present. The fundamental appeal of T20 lies in its brevity and high-octane action.
Quick fix.
20 overs go by in a flash, and in about 3 hours you have a result. In an age where attention spans seem to be getting shorter, that's a significant advantage.
Definitely.
We've seen players like Virat Kohli achieve phenomenal consistency within this format, topping run charts, century lists, and even taking a remarkable number of catches in the outfield.
His record is just unbelievable in the IPL.
It really is. And then you have the fascinating tactical battles like facing a bowler such as Varun Chakravarti, a mystery spinner who employs, well, unusual variations in his bowling that can really bamboozle batsmen.
Keeps you guessing.
Definitely. Kohli's sustained excellence in T20 is truly remarkable. And those tactical duels, especially against bowlers with unorthodox styles like Chakravarti, certainly add a layer of strategic depth.
For sure. But as thrilling as it all is, that relentless pace and emphasis on immediate impact, it does seem to have some inherent drawbacks, doesn't it?
Precisely. There's a growing feeling, I think, that the sheer volume of sellers and wickets, combined with the ever-increasing influence of data analytics on practically every decision, on every decision made on the field, is starting to lead to a sense of predictability, maybe even repetition.
Yeah, I get that.
You could argue it's become a bit like watching the same high-octane action movie again and again, initially exhilarating, but eventually the emotional connection, the nuanced storytelling, it sort of begins to fade.
Right. You know what's coming.
The constant pressure to either clear the boundary or bowl a dot ball can, as some observers have noted, make even incredibly gifted players feel almost like interchangeable parts in a larger data-driven strategy, cogs in the machine.
It's as if the inherent artistry of the game sometimes gets lost in the pursuit of optimal statistical outcomes.
Exactly.
And consider something as basic as the toss of the coin. In traditional Test cricket, a captain like Vic Richardson had a pretty firm philosophy. If you win the toss, you bat first almost every time.
9 times out of 10, yeah.
It was about establishing control, setting the agenda. But in T20, the thinking is almost entirely reversed now.
That's right. The preference for chasing in T20 has become very, very strong.
Why is that mainly due?
Largely due to factors like the evening dew making batting significantly easier in the second innings,
Yeah.
and the tactical flexibility that the impact player rule provides.
Ah, the impact player. That's relatively new.
It is. This rule, introduced recently, allows teams to substitute a player during the match, often to bolster either the batting or bowling lineup depending on how the game is unfolding.
Which obviously helps if you know the target.
Exactly. It's a significant advantage for the chasing team. Statistics from the 2025 season do indicate a higher success rate for teams batting second. However, this can sometimes lead to matches feeling somewhat, preordained. Win the toss, bowl first, then chase down the target.
Yeah, it takes away some suspense, maybe.
The element of unpredictability, of having to adapt and build a score when batting first, can feel diminished sometimes.
It does seem to take away some of the inherent uncertainty, doesn't it? Now, the IPL has always been about more than just the cricket played on the field. It's become deeply interwoven with the cultural tapestry of India.
Oh, absolutely.
Its emergence coincided with the Incredible India campaign, really embodying that sense of a rising economic power, embracing a globalized world.
It truly is a fascinating cultural melting pot. You have this vibrant mix of international stars and homegrown talent coming together, representing franchises that are as much about big business and branding
Huge brands.
as they are about the sport itself.
Oh,
Yet this cosmopolitan environment often exists alongside a very strong undercurrent of national pride and identity. It's been described as cricket for the air-conditioned mall era.
interesting phrase. Sleek, easily accessible, but perhaps missing some of the deeper, more organic connection that older forms of the game fostered.
That's a really sharp way to put it. Shiny and accessible, but potentially lacking a certain soul. And this immense global reach of the IPL has created some interesting ripples across the cricketing world, hasn't it?
It really has.
We've seen the remarkable success of the Women's Premier League, the WPL, which launched in 2023.
Fantastic development.
And has really captured the imagination, showcasing some phenomenal talent and drawing impressive crowds.
The emergence of the WPL has been a truly significant development. Seeing stars like Smriti Mandhana and Elise Perry perform so brilliantly, and the enthusiastic response with packed stadiums.
The atmosphere looked amazing.
It really highlights the immense potential and the strong appetite for top-level women's T20 cricket. It's almost as if the dynamism and freshness of the WPL stand in stark contrast to some of the concerns being voiced about the IPL as it matures.
Good point. However, the IPL's dominant position has also understandably led to concerns about its potential to overshadow and even hinder the growth of other T20 leagues around the globe.
Yes, I remember Adam Gilchrist raising those very points back in 2022, using that monopoly analogy.
Right, the monopoly idea.
With IPL franchises increasingly buying stakes in teams in other leagues, from the UAE to South Africa, the Caribbean.
Everywhere, basically.
It's akin to one major player acquiring all the prime real estate on the board.
Precisely. Now, despite these broader considerations, the IPL continues to be a vital platform for incredible talent and unforgettable performances.
Oh, definitely.
We've witnessed some truly iconic partnerships, like the record-breaking stands between Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers. Those were legendary.
Pure magic watching them bat together.
And then you have these incredibly exciting young players emerging, like Vaibhav Suryavanshi, who, at just 14 years old, smashed a century in the 2025 season, a breathtaking display of raw talent.
That was an innings that absolutely grabbed headlines. Just incredible poise for a 14-year-old.
Unbelievable.
And while these young stars are breaking through, you also have the seasoned veterans navigating their careers within this intense environment. Look at Rohit Sharma, for instance, recently honored with a stand named after him, still contributing at the highest level.
Yeah, a true great of the format.
Although his form in the 2025 season did spark some discussion.
It did. And for many aspiring cricketers, the IPL serves as a crucial proving ground, a high-stakes audition for potential selection into their national teams.
Huge pressure.
With a T20 World Cup on the horizon in 2026, the competition for those coveted spots adds another layer of intensity to every IPL match. Think about the likes of Rishabh Pant and Shubman Gill.
Both hugely talented.
Exceptionally gifted players, but perhaps not currently guaranteed spots in India's T20I lineup. A stellar IPL season could very well be their pathway back into contention.
Makes every innings count.
It's a fiercely contested arena, almost like a Game of Thrones battle for a prized opening slot, with other talented players like Sanju Samson and Abhishek Sharma also making strong cases.
It's an undeniable pressure cooker environment. And sometimes you observe players whose full potential doesn't seem to be maximized within a particular team's strategic framework.
Yeah, that happens.
Take Ravin Powell at KKR, for example. He boasts an exceptional T20 international strike rate and has demonstrated his ability to hit big sixes at their home ground, Eden Gardens.
He can clear any boundary, yeah. That's a really interesting situation.
Yeah.
Roland Butcher, the former West Indies selector, even suggested that KKR should seriously consider promoting Powell to open the batting,
Oh, interesting idea.
believing his raw power could be a game changer right at the top. Given KKR's struggles at times and their precarious position in the 2025 season, needing a strong run of wins to secure a playoff spot,
They were really fighting for it.
it does raise questions about whether they are fully utilizing the resources at their disposal. Are they playing the percentages too much?
It makes you wonder if the increasing reliance on pregame data analysis sometimes overshadows the importance of instinct, maybe?
Yeah.
And the ability to adapt to the specific circumstances of a match. And that leads us to some of the potential downsides that have become more noticeable as the IPL has matured.
The growing dominance of data analytics is certainly a key factor here. While data-driven insights can undoubtedly be valuable in shaping strategies,
Of course.
there's a concern that matches are becoming overly scripted, too heavily reliant on pre-calculated probabilities and matchups.
Following the algorithm.
It can sometimes feel as if the natural ebb and flow and inherent unpredictability of cricket are being somewhat sacrificed in the pursuit of statistical efficiency. As someone aptly put it, the increasing sameness in T20, largely driven by this data obsession, can feel a bit like eating fast food every single day.
Yeah, I like that analogy.
Initially appealing and convenient, but ultimately lacking in deeper satisfaction and variety.
You lose that element of delightful surprise, that moment of individual brilliance that can unexpectedly turn the tide of a game. Just pure instinct sometimes.
Exactly. That spark.
And with a grueling 74-match season, there's also the very real issue of potential oversaturation, burnout.
For fans and players, yeah.
Even the most ardent fans might start to feel a bit fatigued by the sheer volume of cricket being played.
Absolutely. And the fact that a team like KKR in the 2025 season found themselves in a position where their playoff hopes hinged on winning almost every remaining game
By stakes.
not only highlights the league's competitive nature, but also the potential for fan burnout over such a long and intense tournament. Then, of course, we can't completely ignore some of the controversies that have surfaced over the years.
Right, there have been shadows. The match-fixing allegations from 2019, even though the formal case concluded in 2024 without conclusive evidence.
It still lingers for some.
It did leave a lingering sense of doubt in some quarters. It's a shadow that's difficult to completely dispel.
Understandably.
And the IPL's ambition for global expansion, while seemingly positive for increasing cricket's reach, also carries certain inherent risks, as we touched on.
Precisely. While it does have the potential to broaden the game's appeal, there's a valid concern, as Adam Gilchrist articulated, about the possibility of it negatively impacting the growth and sustainability of domestic cricket leagues in other countries.
Squeezing them out, potentially.
It's that McDonald's of cricket analogy. Again, ubiquitous and dominant, but potentially at the expense of more local, unique offerings.
It's a delicate balancing act to navigate, definitely. Now, when we think about the very essence of cricket, I can't help but wonder what a figure like C.L.R. James, the celebrated Trinidadian writer and philosopher of cricket, would have made of the IPL.
C.L.R. James. That's a great question.
He famously wrote about the profound cultural significance of the game.
James viewed cricket as a deeply cultural phenomena, shaped by the unique talents and expressive individuality of its players. Think of the effortless brilliance of a Viv Richards or the captivating artistry of a Shane Warne.
Pure genius.
While the IPL undoubtedly has its own stars, there's a compelling argument to be made that the very structure of T20, with its emphasis on specific roles and data-driven strategies, can at times stifle that kind of individualistic genius.
Less room for improvisation.
Perhaps the constant pressure to either hit boundaries or bowl defensively might not always allow for the development of those distinctive, game-changing skills that James so admired.
He might have perceived the IPL as a fascinating contradiction, a vibrant, modern spectacle that is also, in a sense, constrained by its own success.
A prisoner of its own formula, maybe.
Yeah. The sheer commercial power is undeniable, but it seems that the initial novelty has perhaps given way to a degree of predictability, a sense of what some might call sterility. It's like that initial thrill of your absolute favorite pizza slowly fading as it becomes just, okay, nothing particularly special anymore.
That's a really insightful comparison. You still eat it, but the magic isn't quite there. However, amidst these reflections on the IPL's journey, there's a real beacon of hope and dynamism in the women's game with the Women's Premier League.
Oh, absolutely. The WPL.
Since its launch in 2023, the WPL seems to have captured a different kind of energy and excitement.
It really has. The WPL feels so fresh and dynamic, with incredible talents like Harmanpreet Kaur and Meg Lanning drawing enthusiastic crowds.
Packed stadiums, great cricket.
There's a real buzz around it, and the standard of cricket has been fantastic, arguably even surpassing the men's game in terms of sheer unpredictability and excitement in its initial stages.
It's been brilliant to watch. The success of the WPL serves as a powerful reminder that T20 cricket has the capacity to evolve and discover new avenues for growth.
Definitely.
It's almost as if the IPL, as it navigates its midlife, could learn valuable lessons from its younger sibling, perhaps embracing a bit more of that raw energy and audacity.
Yeah, less formulaic.
And perhaps relying slightly less on the sometimes overbearing influence of algorithms. Let the players play a bit more.
It really makes you think about the broader future of T20 cricket. The IPL in 2025 is still a colossal draw, obviously, but it's clearly at a critical juncture.
A crossroads.
The challenges of repetitive gameplay, data overload, and the potential for global overreach need to be thoughtfully addressed. So where does it realistically go from here? What could change?
Well, there are several potential pathways forward, I think. We might see further tweaks to the format itself, perhaps introducing innovations like, boundary limits and super overs to encourage more creative batting strategies.
Oh, like forcing singles or twos?
Something like that. Or other adjustments aimed at injecting more unpredictability into the contests. Empowering players to trust their instincts and showcase their unique talents rather than being solely dictated by data could also be crucial.
Getting that balance right.
Fostering genuine global collaboration, perhaps through a revitalized T20 Champions League concept, although with careful consideration of the complexities of franchise ownership we talked about.
That's a tricky one.
That could generate significant excitement. And certainly, addressing the issue of potential fan fatigue, perhaps through a slightly shorter season or a more strategically spaced out schedule, warrants serious consideration.
Give people a chance to miss it.
Maybe. And above all, continued investment in and promotion of the WPL is absolutely vital as it represents a vibrant and exciting future for the sport.
Couldn't agree more on the WPL. It all circles back to that central question, doesn't it? Will T20 cricket, as exemplified by the IPL, truly grow up in a way that sustains its appeal for the long term?
That's the million-dollar question, or billion-dollar perhaps.
Right. It's already gifted us so many unforgettable moments. McCullum's explosive arrival, Kohli's record-breaking seasons, Suryavanshi's recent audacious century. It has undeniably reshaped modern cricket.
It has indeed. And as we look to the future, the key will be striking that delicate balance between the undeniable commercial success and the fundamental sporting integrity and depth that allows the game to truly thrive.
Finding the soul again.
It's about rediscovering the very heart of the game, echoing CLR James's profound sentiment that cricket is so much more than just a collection of statistics and boundaries.
So as the IPL steps into its adulthood, the real question is, can it evolve beyond the predictable and truly embrace the extraordinary?
Can it innovate again?
Can it mature like a fine wine, gaining depth and richness over time rather than like milk left out in the sun?
Let's hope it's the wine.
Here's to hoping the party continues, with some exciting new developments as this teenage phenomenon enters a brand new phase.